What's up guys, King here bringing you some new info on Resident Evil 9. So we just got an updated post from LutuxFix. So this is part 4 of these leaks where he's going on about Resident Evil 9. And yeah, we're going to sit down and go through this. It's a very short post, but it's quick and to the point. And yeah guys, as always, remember to like and subscribe, and let's get into this. It just keeps getting better and better, so hopefully this is legit. But as always, remember to take this with a grain of salt, because this is only a rumor. It is not confirmed, but hopefully it will be very soon. We'll see. Alright guys, so he made a recent post, he made a post today. I find this ironic, you know, I just got back from the hospital as well. Don't worry guys, I'm fine, I'm good. I hope everyone else is fine and doing good. But I just find it ironic, you know, that this is the guy who's been posting about the hospital stuff now. And yeah, he's made this new post, and yeah, let's read through this. This is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for this response really. But yeah, he made an update basically regarding the reference to Revelations 2 and what that entailed. But we'll see if this is legit or not. So, Resident Evil 9 Leaks Part 4 Compliment. This post is relatively short and serves as a complement to the previous post. First, let me explain something. When I started posting about the 2 times I tested Resident Evil 9, I didn't expect people to believe me. I feel that over time I've gained some credibility with you. This makes me happy because I want to continue in this community over the years, fighting misinformation about this franchise. And if I've had access to something, even if it's just a small amount, it's good to be able to post the truth out there. If I reach even one person in a positive way, I'm already happy. Well, leaving the boring conversation aside, let's get to the point. So I'm hoping he is telling the truth, because then you know, it becomes a case of, okay, we got this one leaker who will give us, you know, some legit sources. Even if they're small, they're at least, we know, legit, compared to say other leakers who have been coming out and saying stuff and it's like, yeah, you've been wrong before, okay? Like, even the big stuff has been wrong. I'll take small confirmed real info over big info that turns out to be false, you know? Like, I like that, and I'm hoping this guy's right. For his sake, I do hope he's right. Moving on. As I said in the previous post, I know practically nothing about the story of this game, but I also mentioned that there are some conversations on the radio throughout the 2 hours of gameplay, okay? During one of the moments after facing 3 zombies in a room full of medicines and shelves and getting a key, Chris contacts Joe on the radio, and it seems urgent. In the conversation, he mentions that Lady Wesker may be involved in this case, and that the UN has refused to give information about her since the last time. Joe says something like, "Are you kidding me?" and asks for a report and ends the contact. Okay, so this is kind of a big deal, but at the same time it's a bit weird, because when he made those 2 posts, he made no he did say that there are conversations with Jill and Chris over the radio, but he didn't mention this, so this is a big thing. Maybe he didn't see it as a big thing at the time, but now it seems like a big thing here. But you know, that it seems like a huge thing, like the fact that Chris would contact Joe and be like, oh yeah, Lady Wesker. It's like, why would you not mention that the first time? So that's one of the things to keep in mind of. About room P3, and this was about, this is a room regarding in the previous league where you mentioned that there was a room that he went into, he couldn't open it apparently, but other people playtested did, and apparently there was a reference to Revelations 2 in there, and that, you know, there's a questionnaire that they did, and the questionnaire asks what they thought about it. So yeah, about room P3, I haven't talked to anyone who opened the door yet, but I'm looking for it. But based on the post-test questionnaire that mentions Revelations 2, I have no doubt that Alex Wesker returns in RE9. Okay, so that's a huge big deal. Okay, here we go. I didn't mention this in the previous post because it was never my intention to create spoilers or wrong expectations about this game, but it would also be unfair not to mention all the information to you. That's it. You ask me how much story I know. Obviously not much, but here's this detail. I'll still provide information about Room P3, but I have no doubts about Alex's active presence in this game. I want this to reach our homes as soon as possible. Okay, so he's explaining why he didn't reveal it before. It seems a bit iffy. But, you know, considering he did make that new post and he was like, yeah, there's a Revelations 2 reference. Okay, I'm going to go into detail about it. It's like, okay, maybe this is a big thing. Maybe he didn't think it was a huge thing, but now it seems to be a big deal. Okay, so yeah. And that's pretty much the gist of it. At the end, he just says, a kind request. please don't send me so many messages asking things about Leon, the Forest, or things like that. I can't confirm anything outside of Joe's test. Thank you. So again, he's adamant he's only played the Jill stuff. He doesn't know anything about the Leon stuff. Moving on, and someone asked him a question, you know, regarding Alex Wesker and how confident he is in that. I'm definitely confident it's Alex. Who else could be Lady Wesker? I can't wait to get to that soon. And that's that, guys. That's really all he has to say. But if this is legit, Alex Wesker, aka Natalia Gordon, I believe her full name was, is coming back in RE9. And you gotta keep in mind, it would make sense because Natalia, at the end of Revelations 2's epilogue, which took place around the same time as RE6's whole China segment, that was in 2012 or 2013. Natalia would have been 12 years old at that point. This game, as we know, RE9, is obviously going to be taking place after RE8's ending. Not the epilogue, the ending. The epilogue of RE8 takes place, it's a time skip, and it takes place in around, I believe, 2037. There's no way RE9 takes place that far ahead in the future. Okay, that was just specifically designed for the epilogue and the DLC to give us closure for that character. What we do know, and I think this is for certain, is that when we do get the next RE game in present timeline, it is going to literally take place in present timeline. In this case, around, say, 2025 to maybe 2026. Natalia would be around, I'd say, 25 years old by then, give or take. So that would be a perfect time to bring a character back, because they would be old enough, and it would be enough time for it to pass between Revelations 2 and then for her to have done something behind the scenes. Keep in mind, this is kind of what Capcom did with Sherry. You know, they waited a good few years in real time before they finally decided that, okay, we can bring Sherry back now and as an older character, and we can have her be as a playable character. So yeah, I feel like if Alex is in this game, it would make sense, and now would be the perfect time to do it, because if we're not getting a Revelations 3 to tie up these loose ends, then it just makes sense for RE9 to be that, especially when you consider the fact that the director of this game, again, if it is who I think it is, I'm assuming it is RE9 they were talking about in the interview, then this guy did Revelations 1 and RE7. Now, of course, Revelations 1 didn't really have anything to do with any plot progression, that it sort of did its own thing and was more of a prequel to RE5's Lost in Nightmares, and RE7 was in this case sort of like RE4 in terms of being this semi-reboot. It was doing its own thing, starting something new. But because this is the same, if I'm assuming this is the same director, then they'd probably be coming back to close off and finish off the loose ends that started in RE7. In this case, the connections, the Evelyn, the whole manufacturing of Evelyn and that, the mass production of that, because there were hints of this in the RE7 end credit scenes. Like there was these little files you could read, and it did mention some stuff there, so it would make sense. And it would make sense that if we're not getting a Revelations 3, that they would want to try and wrap up those loose ends in this game. So in a way, RE9 could be the Revelations 3 we always wanted. More or less, so to speak. The whole thing with Alex though being in this is a bit weird, because then does that mean that Alex is involved with the connections then? It would make sense, because Dr. Bradley, we know, was he was part of the he was one of the OG Umbrella scientists. He was James Marcus's protege. He went into hiding. He created the connections. I don't know if he had anything to do with the Wesker children particularly or not. If he was part of that, he might have or might have not. Maybe he did. After all, he was one of the inner scientists. So maybe there could be some sort of connection there where Alex Wesker went and found Bradley, and they worked together behind the scenes, and then eventually after a death and resurrection, if you will, she stayed in touch, or even maybe helped create the connections behind the scenes, perhaps with Dr. Bradley. Maybe that will be a big reveal. But this also I would say, again, if this is legit, it would also sort of connect with the rumors that Barry is in this game. Because, you know, that was one of the big things. Why is Barry going to be in this game? I get it. You know, Joe's in there and she's investigating the BSA. Chris is going to be her guy. But then why is Barry there? I guess Chris would want allies to help him with that. So Barry being there to help would make sense. And it would give us that sort of RE1 feeling as well. Because we haven't seen Barry interacting with Chris, or we didn't really see Barry interact with Chris at all, but like it would be great to get that relationship. But at the same time, it's like if you're bringing Barry back, surely that means there has to be some sort of connection to Natalia or Alex, right? Because that was a big cliffhanger that still hasn't been resolved to this day. So I'm wondering if this is it, if this is the biggest case of this is why he's in there, because he's there to investigate and find out about what happened to Alex Wesker. Because obviously Natalia grew up and left, and maybe something happened behind the scenes to the Burton family, maybe. I don't know. Like, we don't know what happened. But if Natalia, Alex is involved, it would make sense why Barry would get involved. So you kind of have to wonder, you know, you kind of have to wonder and start putting the pieces together in that. But I'm hoping this is legit. I really do. At this point, I'm just waiting to find out what the reference is regarding Room P3. I think if we get that reference, then in this case, it's like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. But for now, yeah, this is exciting news. But again, you gotta take it with a grain of salt because it could be BS. But we'll see. Anyway, guys, that's my video on Resident Evil 9 regarding Revelations 2's possible connections, and hopefully we'll get more in the coming days or weeks. Hopefully we get that reveal very soon. We're close to the Game Awards, so maybe we'll get something else during the 3rd. There is hints something's happening on the 3rd. We're on the 20th now, so two more weeks to go maybe for that, perhaps, maybe. And then of course 3 weeks, I think, more to go. Is it 4 more weeks to go for the Game Awards? Well, we'll see. Nearly there, guys, nearly there. You know, just keep hanging on. But yeah, guys, I hope you liked that. As always, remember to like and subscribe, please do. And yeah, I shall see you when I shall see you. Take care and bye.